In Northern California, what has been done when it comes to police reform over the past year since the death of Floyd. ABC 10's Kevin John live in downtown Sacramento talking about the progress and the work that still needs to be done. Kevin.
Yeah, well, in the years since George Floyd's death, we've seen California enact several bills centered around police reform. I'll get to those in a second. But out here on K Street, you'll see a lot of businesses boarded up, and you'll see quite a few images of George Floyd and messages of no justice, no peace, Black Lives Matter, and other messages in solidarity with the protests and demonstrations that we saw in Sacramento over the last year. Now, since that uprising a year ago, police reform bills have been implemented in our region. Now, among them, Assembly Bill 1196, which prevents a law enforcement agency from authorizing the use of a chokehold or neck restraint on a person. Also, Assembly Bill 1506, which requires a state prosecutor to investigate incidents of an officer-involved shooting resulting in the death of an unarmed civilian, and Assembly Bill 846, which requires the evaluation of peace officers to include bias against race or ethnicity against others. Now, I caught up with a spokesperson from NorCal Resist, a local organization dedicated to fighting oppression, who shares her thoughts on how far we've come in the last year.
What has happened throughout this past year is these conversations have sparked in so many different areas that they can no longer be ignored. They have to be addressed. And that's what we're seeing. I would say we are better off, but we still have a long way to go.
Now, she went on to say that there's more to be done before we can achieve the transformational change on a systemic-wide level. So what's next? Well, there are currently 30 bills here in California that are pending, many of them involving police reform. And coming up in the next half hour, you'll hear from more activists on what they would like to see and what specific change they would like to see as we move forward. Walt.
Okay, that's Kevin John. He's downtown. Thank you, Kevin.